I think it's had a huge impact. If you take one of the schools in the area, Red River Primary, it was built with prefab materials and it stood there for 30 years. And often when there were gang fights, bullets would pierce those prefab buildings and it would affect children. I think at least one occasion, a child was shot with as a result of a bullet entering the classroom, and so it disrupts education every time there's a gang war, because the mothers would run to the schools to fetch their children so that she knows that they're safe and so forth. And it's caused major problems for it. It's had effects on teachers and their mental health, and their own safety as well. Well, if you look at the region today in the Cape Flats, then we have a problem with youth unemployment. Um, we have the biggest unemployment in this, although unemployment in the Western Cape is lower than national figures. The layers of young people in the cohort 15 to 19 is probably the greatest. And then from 19 to 25, um, that ranges between 24 to, from 48 to about 30%. And so you you creating opportunities for more young people that are not employable, to join the gangs. And so I do think unemployment plays a huge role, and the fact that the economy is not growing. Our economy in this province only grew by 0.8% over the last quarter, according to the West Coast statistics. So I do think that we have to make a concerted effort to find jobs for people, or job opportunities, so that people can either go into their own business, or they can develop opportunities so that they can enter the formal economy or the informal economy. The the problem with um, the communities in the Western Cape is the division. Um, I think what you do find here is you find some communities that have joined vigilante organizations, others have joined anti-crime movements, street patrollers, neighborhood watches, community police forums. I think the communities already have done a lot to prevent gangsterism. And I think that what we are seeing is more people are coming on board to assist in the effort to fight gangs by building community links. And you have a plethora of organizations that have emerged over um, the last couple of decades, and I think that what you're going to be seeing is that more and more people would want to do something about the gang problem. It plays a huge role because it contributes to the loss of confidence um, in, or the loss of public trust in the police. And so people don't want to go and report to the police in the way that we normally think they're free to report to the police, because they don't trust the police. The statistics from victim surveys show that only 16% of the people have complete faith in the police. And that is a very worrying figure. We cannot have, if you look at the Afrobarometer surveys, then we cannot have a situation where people are not, or do not have faith or confidence or public trust in the police. They won't report it because of the tardiness of the police to investigate, or the responsiveness of the police to people's complaints. I think that there are a lot of um, impacts that we have to take into consideration with international cartels. We are seeing the emergence of South American drug cartels and links between them and South African drug dealers and gang leaders. And this is very, very, very worrying, because at the end of the day, you see people shooting each other, fighting each other on the streets. And in many respects, the gangsters and the youngsters pulling trigger are the last part of the chain. It's organized crime that we ought to be focusing our attention on, so that we can break the reliance and the dependence of these street gangs on the supply of drugs and the distribution of drugs and firearms in this case.